All right, looks like the gang's all here. We are getting, every time I do these intros, it's like we've done this intro so many times already, but can you believe we're already 2 weeks before the end of the regular season in the NFL? Oh my goodness. Man, time flies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Dom and Gonz Sports Talk pregame show, pre-gaming Ravens versus Dolphins Sunday afternoon football, because we all know we got all that stuff about we were going to get flexed and we didn't get flexed, even though I feel like this is a flexible game. I feel like this is a prime time worthy game, but I don't run the schedule. Gonz, how you doing on this Friday evening, my guy? How was your Christmas?
I'm doing wonderful. Christmas was great. Back in action here as we approach the New Year. New Year's Day is going to be on Monday, New Year's Eve, Sunday when this game's taking place. But yeah, it's about to be January. I'm not a fan of January, except for playoffs. I like playoffs.
We like playoff football, but the cold. We can do without the
cold. Once the holidays are over, I'm ready to shift to summer break. Like, I just got done with winter break. Well, winter break's until Monday, but I'm shifting my gears to June. But yes. I'm doing fine. Other than that, excited to talk Ravens football tonight.
Beautiful. Now, we all know what this matchup entails. Ravens versus Dolphins, two of the top teams in the AFC going at it for the battle of the one seed. Is going to be physical, is going to be vicious, is going to be a great matchup. But before we discuss that, I feel like we got some injuries to talk about. So, Gonz, let's open that injury report. What are we dealing with, man?
Oh, we're dealing with a lot, actually. The injury report is pretty lengthy this time. Now, not everybody's out. There's not a lot of people out, but again, it's week 17. A lot of people are dinged up after playing 3 months of football, so not shocked there. That's what Harbaugh said today in his press conference. Good news, Kyle Hamilton is back to practicing limited. I don't think he practiced today, though. So he might be – his availability is in doubt on Sunday. So that might prove costly for this Ravens secondary, as also Brandon Stevens popped up on the injury report this week, dealing with an ankle. So all of a sudden the Ravens are looking pretty shorthanded in the secondary as Jalen Armour-Davis is ruled out with a concussion. But Arthur Maulet, we should be coming back. He's practiced fully today, dealing with the knee injury that that kept him out last week on Monday. We got some injury concerns in the secondary, and that's not something you want to see when you got a team like Miami coming to town with that offense. Other injuries for the Ravens: Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith not even listed anymore. They popped up as well, but they are good to go for Sunday. I'm forgetting somebody else. Odell took the day off. Nothing concerning there. Zay Flowers, though, did pop up this week, and he missed Wednesday practice, but he did practice limitedly today, I believe. So his availability is in doubt as well, dealing with a calf, I believe. And I hope that he can make it back, because that would leave us down a slot wide receiver, and we'd have to really we'd really need Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar to step it up, along with OBJ, if Zay can't go. So that is concerning. So we'll see what happens. Ravens are dealing with a lot more than they were last week. Hopefully they can squeak by this game and make it to the bye week. They'd get a bye week, pretty much 2 bye weeks, if they win this game on Sunday. But you shifted over to the Dolphins side of things. Jalen Waddle ruled out with a high ankle sprain. That's massive. So Tua's going to have Tyreek Hill and some other backup wideouts: River Craycraft, Braxton Berrios, Chase Claypool, Cedric Wilson, all going to fill in the void of Jalen Waddle. So that is pretty big news for the Miami Dolphins, and they are pretty banged up too. Raheem Mostert missed practice Wednesday and Thursday, returned today. His availability is in question. He may not be able to go, so it might be Devon Achane. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry. You guys can correct me. He went out publicly and said this is how you say it, and I just haven't looked at it because I'm not a Dolphins fan. So I'm just going to call him Achane or whatever. He'll probably get the bulk of the carries with that bad ankle for Mostert. All linemen in doubt. Austin Jackson should come back, but Robert Hunt, their guard, is doubtful to play according to Mike McDaniel. So both teams overall are dealing with injuries. Javon Holland might come back. Jalen Ramsey popped up on the injury report today, limited in practice, so that's something to keep an eye on as well, especially with the Ravens offense looking to expose some matchups. So pretty even injury reports. Both teams are really dealing with a lot coming into this game. So it'll be whoever proves stronger through all the turmoil on these injuries. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. But, yeah, pretty lengthy for both teams.
Yeah, that Waddle injury was huge. The Waddle injury is very huge. I mean, it gives us one less thing to have to guard. I mean, when you have two speedsters who can just pretty much blow the top off the field, basically, and just get past anybody without safety help, it's ridiculous. But only having one of those guys to deal with is definitely better than having two. I mean, of course, we wish Waddle a full recovery. Hope he's going to be good. But we're going to take our pieces and just keep moving into the Sunday afternoon game. Gon's great in-depth report. All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of what is at stake.
I really hope Zay plays.
Yeah, Zay should play. No, I feel like he'll probably play.
I don't know, man. He missed 2 days.
He did miss 2 days, but I feel as though this game he's going to want to go because that's exactly what I'm about to get into. Like the meat and potatoes of this game is 1 seed. Now, obviously, you and me have talked about this on air, and we've talked about it, in separate private conversations. I didn't really care about the 1 seed at first because, I feel it was going to be a grind regardless. We were going to have to go through the gauntlet. We were going to have to fight for every win either way. But my opinion might change. It kind of changed a little bit. And the reason why I say that now is because looking at this injury report, man, we could use that rest day, or we could use that rest week. I'm not gonna lie, because it's just when you have some of our better players like Hamilton recovering from that injury, when Roquan and Patrick Queen pop up, that's never really a good thing. Zay, this makes this game even more important than ever before. Because getting the win means getting that 1 seed, clinching the division, clinching the AFC conference. I mean, we need it. I feel like we need it now. Like, we really need to buckle down and get this win. Because honestly, you get this win, I don't really think you need to play anybody in that Pittsburgh game. That's just me. I just don't really think you need to play anybody. I don't know what you think about that, but
I think you want to play the starters just a little bit.
I think they play like a half.
Like a preseason
play a
game.
Half. Yeah. I think they can play a half.
Maybe not even that, just a quarter, just to keep them a little fresh before they head into the bye week for the wild card round. But we got to focus on this game first. We can talk about those situations next week. Yeah. The starters are all going to be full go this week. So let's go take care of it. And Zay did miss some practice time last week before the Christmas game, and he ended up going. So hopefully he can go again this Sunday. That'd be great because we would need him. Then that would put us full strength at wide receiver against this Dolphins defense, especially with a banged up Jalen Ramsey and a banged up Javon Holland. So let's get it done. I'm really feeling confident that this team can win this go around. I know we struggled with Miami, but I think this time we can do it. I mean, it's going to be cold. It's going to be in the 30s, low 40s. So they're a warm weather team. Let's make them. Let's eat them alive. Let's get them. Let's call Jack Frost in the winter wonderlands and let's swallow them up alive. Okay, and let's rattle Tua. I think Tua's going to make some mistakes if this pass rush can get to him. Kind of like what we did with Purdy. Just hearing the footsteps. If you don't get home, just your presence around Tua, we can force him into some bad mistakes. So I think we need to have a similar game plan to treat Tua like we did for Brock Purdy. Even though their offense philosophy is a little bit different, I don't feel like it's as centered on the run game as they were with Christian McCaffrey. But they could definitely pound the rock with Mostert and Achin, depending on if Mostert can go. That would make life easier for the Ravens as well. But they're more of a go deep type of offense that opens up the run game. I think it's kind of vice versa than the 49ers. So it presents its own unique kind of challenge. But I really think the Ravens can really turn loose here, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Roquan and Queen are full go. So let's blitz Tua on some plays. It'd be nice if we can get 4-man pressure again, like we did at the end of that Niners game. So yeah, another big day from Clowney, another big day from who's the other guy? Kyle Van Noy. He got a couple sacks as well. So let's turn loose, turn these pass rushers loose, crank up the pressure, get Tua rattled, and I think we should win this game. And stop the run, make them one-dimensional, make them throw to their backup wideouts, their wide receiver 3, 4, and 5, and this defense could be in for a day. We'll be at home. We're wearing our black uniforms with the purple pants. I love that combo. Let's turn up. I'm going to be there. Let's get loud. And I think we could come away with a solid victory like 27-20 with this defense leading the charge. And that's not even talking about the offense yet. But I'm feeling better about this defense this time around than I was last year. This is a completely different unit than the team that blew that 35-14 fourth quarter lead. So I'm feeling a little bit better about this team, and I think they're juiced up for this too.
Yeah, I can't really disagree. The only thing I'm going to add is that the difference between this offense and the Niners offense is that they're way more quick. And not even just in their talent and their skill positions. I mean, like, as far as the pacing of how they run their offense. Like, Purdy was more of a either I'm going to throw this to a screen or I'm going to drop back, I'm going to look, and I'm going to, like, Tua is like, oh, shoot, there's Reed. Like, he gets the ball out, like they get the ball out quick. So I really think, like, I agree with you with the pressure, but I feel like we have to be mindful with the blitzing. And I say that because Tyreek, first of all, leaving Tyreek one-on-one against anybody, you're just asking for him to just completely blow by you. So that safety help over the top is mandatory at all times. I don't know why teams think, oh, yeah, we're just not going to use a safety against Tyreek. I don't know why they think that's okay. That's a dumb plan, in my opinion. Obviously, safety help over the top is beneficial for guarding Tyreek Hill. So we need safety help at all times. Pressure-wise, you're right. Get Van Noy, get Clowney in there, Matabike, get those guys going early. Set the tone to make them one-dimensional. I mean, if Mostert can't go, because I feel as though, like, even if it's just Hill as the quick wideout, there's nothing really stopping those speedy backs from coming out of the backfield and also catching passes. So I feel as though we also have to take that into account. I think last week Mostert actually did catch one for a touchdown. I'm not sure.
He did.
But I think, yeah, he did. So let's watch out for that as well, because just because there's one speed guy down doesn't mean these guys still don't have a lack of speed. So the speed is still there. So just not having Waddle out there makes it one less thing to guard still. So that is beneficial for us. Going back towards last year, what killed us the most was that in that fourth quarter comeback from the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns to absolutely destroy us in that game. All deep throws.
Deep stuff.
I feel as though with that, and that brings me to my point of the Monday night game. Now, Monday night, what was really killing us the most in that game in the beginning, not towards the end, it was those over-the-middle routes to Kittle. Kittle was absolutely destroying us over the middle, and we weren't really guarding that. And that's what led to his over 100-yard day in that game, even though we did get that win. So I feel as though that's another thing we have to watch out for, because at that point, what's going to stop Tyreek Hill from trying to come over the middle? Or what's going to stop, like, a quick Texas route out of the backfield to come over? See what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I feel as though we have to be more mindful of these things, because this team is so fast-paced. And we have to make sure we keep track of them at all times, because if we lose them for a second, we are cooked.
Well, I think it's really good that if we lose Hamilton this game, it would be a little bit better than last week, because there's no George Kittle to have to defend in the slot. So Arthur Millette wouldn't have to deal with, and I'm assuming that's who they would put in the slot to replace Kyle Hamilton's role. They don't have to deal with the George Kittle. They have Smythe. I don't know who that is.
Smythe.
The dude's solid, but he's not George Kittle.
He's not George Kittle, no.
And whoever's going to play in the slot other than her, I don't know the Dolphins. Barrios, I don't know who they who they got.
Oh, Braxton Berrios
in the slot. I really don't know, and I'll know on Sunday by then. The challenge will presents itself to not be as bad as the Niners, what they throw out at you with Debo and McCaffrey out of the backfield and Ayuk and Kittle. So it's going to be Tyreek Hill and Cedric Wilson and Durham Smythe. I think that's his name. And yeah, AG, yes, we also got Marlowe to help out as well. That's great. With the possibility of Brandon Stevens not being out there as well. So Rock Ya-Sin might have to step in. Yikes. So yeah, if this is the time to, my point is, if this is the time for Hamilton to miss, I guess this would be more appropriate than last week because you saw how impactful he was. And the fact that they have no Jalen Waddle should, limit what they can do at speed-wise on the other side of the field, making Tyreek Hill the only guy who's got that breakaway speed. And I hope I'm right in saying that. I hope I don't get embarrassed by whoever the backup is who goes completely off. But yeah, so we'll see what we can do with these injuries. But I stand by what I said. Durham Smythe is definitely not George Kittle. So whoever plays the slot might not have as big of a workload as they did last week, is what I'm
hoping so. Yeah, I'm hoping so because we were, like I said, we were getting torched over the middle last week. Like if it wasn't Kittle, it was Ayuk.
Right.
And he was like destroying us in that fourth quarter because I think that he also had over 100 yards in that game. So I'm just saying, let's be mindful of those things. Let's just pay attention to what happened. And I know, like even Harbaugh said in his presser, like they've learned from those mistakes in that game last year. But it's like, I mean, you got to see it to believe it, obviously. But I mean, I'm hoping that they did because, boy, that fourth quarter, that's probably one of the most historically fourth quarter comebacks I've ever seen in my life. Tua almost had 500 yards on us. He threw 2 picks, but he had 469 for 6 touchdowns last year.
Mm-hmm.
That is insanity that we allowed that much, like just for him to come back like that in the fourth quarter. So let's hope that does not happen again.
I would not bet on that happening again. If we
I highly doubt it.
Lead in the fourth quarter, I think the defense will
maintain it. Yeah, I feel like we maintain it this time around.
If you're up 21 in the fourth quarter, don't give up home run play because that's the only reason why we lost. They were scoring in one play, like 50-yard gain, 60-yard touchdown to Hill. I mean, and just blown coverages too. And we don't have Marcus Peters anymore. And as good as we love Marcus Peters, his skill set does not match the skill set that we have right now. I mean, he had a couple plays on the Raiders this year where it just looks like he wasn't giving his full effort. He kind of gives up on plays. He just shows people out of bounds. And he was the culprit on most of those deep blown coverages as well. And Kyle Hamilton was playing back deep as well. And, he was a rookie. He made some mistakes. That was week 2. So I don't think that those are going to happen again, especially with this upgraded Mike Macdonald defense. And Mike Macdonald was the coordinator last year, so he remembers this just as well as we do. And I think we would be able to put the game away if we were able to build a lead by the second half.
Yeah, I know that's one he's going to want to have back in the worst way in that game. Because that game, whew. But I think, like you said, I feel like you hit it on the nose on a lot of things we need to do. I mean, like we said, safety help over the top for Tyreek, main priority. Trying to get as much pressure on Tua as possible, making him as uncomfortable as possible. And I feel like we should
stop the run too.
And stop the run, bottle up the run early. Yeah, setting that tone early is very important because again, these backs. Once a chain gets going, he's proven already. Once he gets going, he doesn't stop. So he was having a dynamic year before he went down with that early year injury. So as long as we maintain that focus, we should be fine. But yeah,
with Clowney and Oweh because a lot of their runs are power O's to the outside or stretches to the outside, running outside the tackles. Rarely do they run right up the guts between the guards. And if they do, it's some of those weird toss plays where he tosses it backwards to the running back and then he runs it up through the tackles. It's very weird looking, but those are the only times they run up the middle usually. And then most of primarily the runs are just outside. So set the tone. Clowney, set the tone. Oweh, set the tone. Roquan, Queen, set that edge. Make them cut it back and let Travis Jones and Michael Pierce and Matabike clean up in the middle. And we should be fine in the run game, especially with them down 2 offensive linemen potentially. Starters.
Yep. So I think we should be good. Hopefully defense, you can't really rave too much about this defense. They've been playing great all year. Top 2, not number 2 defense in the league. So I think we should be okay. But just precautions, just in case.
Let's not go
we know
wood right now after you said
but I'm about to knock on this chair. I'm just trying to make sure, because I know they're locked in. But it's like, it's just knowing that what happened last year and never letting that happen again, especially not Sunday, because we need this win in the worst way, in my opinion. Now, like, I know, like I said, 1 seed, I was okay with not getting it, but now looking at what we're dealing with, I want it bad. I want us to get that week bad.
Good, you joined my side.
I did. I had to switch over to the side.
You want the 1 seed, ladies and gentlemen. The football players need it. They need it. They need the extra rest. It's just your responsibility to keep yourself focused and keep your eyes open and push ahead, so there's no chance of a choke when you come out of the bye week. And again, we remember how that feels in 2019. And I'm confident that Harbaugh and Lamar and all those people that were a part of that squad can rally their troops. Marlon Humphrey can rally their guys to be ready this time, whoever we get to play. So I'm confident that we can figure that out. You want the 1 seed is what I'm saying. And I'm glad Dom's come over to the dark side now and agreed with me. So
it's not like I didn't want the 1 seed. I mean, obviously, you want your team to have the 1 seed. It's just, from my perspective, it was like, I just know you're going to have to face a gauntlet regardless. And it's like, either like the rest, of course. And I was just nervous because after our last bye week, we came out kind of sluggish. And we weren't performing to our maximum potential in that game. I forgot, who did we play after the bye week again? It's been a couple of weeks. I know. But
Rams.
Rams, yeah. You know, the Rams they were whooping us for a little bit.
Is that a test? I agree with you, but as I watch them a little bit more, is that a testament to how good the Rams are playing, though? I mean,
the Rams are really good. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah. Let's not get it twisted. The Rams are very, very good. And they're
looking like a dark horse team in the NFC right now. You don't want to play them in the playoffs because Stafford is clicking, Puka's clicking, Cooper's clicking. I mean,
they're getting hot at the right time. They're absolutely getting hot at the right time. You cannot argue against that. But at that point, from our perspective, it's like we were not playing well in that game. Not good, not really as to our max potential anyway, after that bye week. So I just want us to make sure that when we get back in, if we do acquire the 1 seed, that once we get back to get back for the divisional, that we're going to be good to go, and that we're not going to come out sluggish. We're not going to come out slow. You know what I mean? Because I just want us to maintain that momentum that we've been having for a while. And, you know, like I said, this obviously battle for the division, and honestly, the Browns can still take the 1 seed. If they would need a lot to happen, don't get me wrong, but the Browns are still also in the running for the 1 seed. So, anything can happen, but I would rather us have it now, of course. I mean, my mindset is switched towards that because I want us to get that rest. I want our guys to be okay. I mean, and who knows when Andrews can come back, because that would be absolutely huge. I mean, I know they say we have to do a deeper playoff run, so maybe towards Super Bowl, but I mean, we don't know. We don't know how he's doing. Harbaugh said there's no setbacks and he's on schedule, so we'll see how that goes. But I mean, 1 seed would be great. So defense, please stay clutch.
1 more win, gentlemen. 1 more win.
Just 1 win.
Ball break. Yep.
1 win. Now, let's go over to the offense, because I feel as though this offense still has much more progression to do. I just feel as though they still haven't reached their full, offensively, I feel like we played really, really well on Monday night, but there's still, this isn't really, I still feel like this is still not their final form yet. I feel as though there's still a lot more that they can do, compared to what they did on Monday night. Now, obviously, there's a lot of chitter-chatter about Lamar Jackson and the MVP and, who really should be MVP and all that other jazz or whatever. As you heard it here, you can hear it here first from Dom and Gonz Sports Talk, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know Lamar Jackson. We don't talk. I don't know his reps. I don't know his homies. I don't know anything like that. But I can tell you straight up right now, he probably don't really care about that MVP. I'm just saying the fact. I mean, I'm just saying an opinion. He really probably do not care about that.
That's not even an opinion, Dom. That's a fact. He wants a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he don't care about Like he wants to be playing in February, and I love that. I love it.
And the thing about that is that I'm gonna go on a mini soliloquy, even though I know we're time thing. But here's my thing: a lot of people in media or whatever have been like shaping the narrative of Lamar Jackson, and my thing is that yes, Lamar Jackson has 19 passing touchdowns on the year. Yes, he's thrown 7 interceptions on the year. His passing numbers, I mean, he's thrown for over 3,000 yards this year. I get that. But at the same time, I feel as though you can look at the stats, but a lot of these guys are not watching the games to see how much he's actually impacting the game. And when I say that, I say, yes, he utilizes his legs. He's not really a run-first quarterback anymore. His mindset has completely changed from being a run-first quarterback. He's now looking to make those reads. He's looking to make those dots down the field, making dip and dunks, taking what the defense gives him. Passing yards been down. Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody's passing for that many yards right now. Like, Tua's almost there. Like, you think he is like 42. But my main point is, before I get deep dive into the offense, my thing is that what Lamar Jackson does with a combination of his passing and his running makes him one of the more dynamic quarterbacks in this league. Lamar Jackson is not just an athlete. He is a quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks the NFL has to offer in this league. Like, let's not get it twisted here. The man has done things that only maybe a couple of people on. He's gotten out of situations that I've been looking at his play since 2018, since the day he was drafted. I went to his very first game against the Bengals when he got his first start. And I'm sitting here like, bro, and I'm still amazed about how he gets out of half the crap he gets out of in this. Like, when the defense is converging on him, he's just like dipping and ducking and just getting out of there. Like, my thing is that to end this mini soliloquy, all I'm saying is that it's very disrespectful to call Lamar Jackson just an athlete. In my opinion, that man is a top quarterback in this league. The things he's done, like, yes, it's been a minute since he's thrown for over whatever touchdowns, since 2019 or whatever. But my thing is that putting just the athlete label on him is very, very disrespectful. Does he have MVP? Would I call him an MVP? I mean, the way he impacts this team and the way he wins games for this team, yes, I would call him the MVP. But saying that he doesn't deserve to be in the conversation at all, because again, no quarterback is really having that great of a year. Mahomes is having an off year. Herbie is out for the rest of the year because he wasn't having a great year to begin with. Burrow's out. Watson's out. Who else? Josh Allen. I mean, the Bills are getting hot, but other than that, Josh Allen did not have a great start to the year. I mean, Tua's playing really, really well. He's had his ups and downs, but my thing is that no quarterback is playing really, really good this year. So, I mean, maybe do we need to change the definition of MVP? Do we need to change how we grade MVPs? I don't know. But my thing is that the Lamar Jackson disrespect and the Lamar Jackson slander has to stop, because the man is a top quarterback in this league, and he's probably better than your favorite quarterback. So let's please stop the presses, ladies and gentlemen. Lamar Jackson does not care about the MVP. That's why he didn't care about that Monday Night Football game. That's why he didn't dive into the hype after that win, because you don't win the Super Bowl in December. You win it in February. So that's what his main goal is. So would he want a second MVP?
Keep your eyes forward, and that's what we'd like to see.
Exactly. Like, does he want a second MVP? He said it himself. Probably not. But at the end of the day, you know what he probably would want? That ring at the end of the year. So the slander has to stop. Lamar Jackson disrespect has to stop. The man is probably better than your favorite quarterback and your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback. So let's just stop the presses, all right? Because I've been hearing this chatter all week since this 49ers win, and it's getting a little disrespectful. But yeah, so to end on that note, let's focus on this offense. Guys, I don't know if you had anything to say about that after that.
Well,
but
the MVP stuff, I don't care. Yeah. He gets it, he gets it. But honestly, they grade MVP on touchdowns and stats, and he doesn't have the best stats. He only has 19 touchdown passes to go along with about 5 rushing touchdowns for about a total of 24. So if you're grading it on stats, which they usually do, then probably not the MVP. But if you have to watch the games if you want to classify him as an MVP candidate. because of what he does for this Ravens team and what this Ravens team is when Lamar is not in the picture. So that's what you got to take into account if you're going to vote for him for MVP. So you have to back off from the stats. You have to, because they're not that glorifying. His 2019 season, he had 36 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Compared to this year, he's got 19 touchdowns and 7. So the stats are completely lopsided from his 2019 MVP season. So we'll see. We'll see what the voters do, the unanimous voters, that committee that votes for these MVPs or whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I ain't worried about it. And I don't think Lamar cares about it either. He's focused on the Super Bowl. He said it in his press conferences. So let's get right on it. They're focused on Miami. What their game plan is. Todd Monken's all set. Let's see what they're going to do. Let's go ahead and talk about that now. Match it up against this Dolphins defense.
A very stout, a very reformed Dolphins defense, because since Jalen Ramsey's come back, they've been a very, very tough defense to get past.
I'm still not sold on it yet, but we'll see. Because they've played a lot of garbage teams, like they really have. And they've gotten some really nice statistical games against teams like the New York Jets, teams like the Commanders, the Giants, Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders. We'll see. Their biggest test is going to be against this Ravens offense, who's looked to be explosive at times, within both the run game and the pass game. So we'll see who's really good. If it's really good on Sunday. Again, I'm not sold on it. They've lost Jalen Phillips for the year. Bradley Chubb is their best pass rusher, I guess. Christian Wilkins is pretty good. Number 94 up in the middle, the D end. Or he might be the D tackle. I'm not sure. But, they've got some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. Jerome Baker is out. I think he's on IR. So Andrew Van Ginkel, one of the stars on Hard Knocks, is stepped in for him, and he's played pretty well. So they've got some playmakers on this side of the ball. As for exposing this team, again, you just need to control the line of scrimmage. If you give Lamar time, he can pick you apart from the pocket, outside of the pocket. I don't care. And I'm not sure if they're going to continue to do what they've done, where they've kind of let the game come to them, let the defense dictate what they're doing. And that's, again, I've said this so many times, and a lot of people have said this as well, that this Ravens team could beat you in whatever way you want them to. Like, they've had those nasty wins, 13-10, like the Chargers game, 20-10, and they can get you in a shootout, 37-31, the Rams. They can outscore you too. So whatever you want to do, you want to give them a run look, they can pass it on you. If you want to play for the pass, they can run it on you. So I'm not sure what Monken has up his sleeve. I'm assuming maybe if it was up to me, I guess you want to establish a ground game to start out. But again, that's going to be hard to do without Keaton Mitchell. The backs just aren't as explosive when you had Keaton Mitchell in there. He was a great compliment to Gus Edwards, different style runner. But we'll see, because they only tallied 41 yards last week. But I think you want to get Gus going early. If it were up to me, get the offensive line some push, some movement up there on that Dolphins front, and then control the game, and then you can do whatever you want to do. Once you establish control of the line of scrimmage, the playbook's wide open for you, I think. And we'll see what the Dolphins give them. I mean, honestly, just read what the defense is giving you and make the correct adjustments, and you'll be fine. And then obviously don't turn the ball over. They've done a better job without turning the ball over recently, so we got to keep that up. No fumbles, no picks. Hold on to the football, play your game, and you should be fine. I'm confident that this Ravens offense can move the ball at home on the Dolphins defense, who have yet to face a very tough test yet. And I know they had a tough test against Dallas, but Dallas shot themselves in the foot over and over again. And this is on the road too. That was in the comfort home of Miami, Hard Rock Stadium over there in Miami, Florida, where the weather is warm. So this is a different test. Get the job done. Control the line of scrimmage. Don't turn the ball over. And I think we can do fine in both the running and passing game. I could see us putting up 27 or even 30 if we play really well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at some of the Dolphins' past losses here. They've lost to, of course, the Buffalo Bills in a very surprising loss. They lost by 28 points. Josh Allen went crazy, 4 touchdowns, went for 320. And I'm seeing the trend here, and it's definitely like holding Tyreek Hill to minimal, like not making him non-existent, because that's almost impossible with his skill set, but making him like less of a factor in the game. Like as I'm seeing here, like in that Bills game, let's start with this Philly game. Tua threw for 216, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That 1 touchdown being to Tyreek Hill. He had 11 catches for 88 yards. I mean, it's not a terrible game, obviously, but, with Tyreek, he can, with his ability, he can go for way more than that. In the Bills loss, Tua, 282, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kane went crazy for 101 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. That was before his injury, of course. And Tyreek Hill only had 3 catches, 58 yards. Waddle had 4 for 46. So whatever the Bills were doing to minimize that pass game, it worked to perfection at that point, because the Dolphins were pretty much relying on that run game to keep them going. And their most recent loss, it was to the Titans, I'm sorry. Their most recent loss was, that Germany game against the Chiefs, who know Tyreek well, better than they probably know themselves at that point. Tyreek Hill, 8 catches for 62 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, it seems that these teams have had great schemes to really keep Tyreek Hill to under that 100-yard mark and keep him from like going absolutely nuts. So I really think that limiting him now, with that being said, scoring wise for us, I think that another key for that success is a lot of these teams were successful on the ground. Like Kansas City had almost close to 100 yards rushing against them in their win in Germany. Let me go back to that bill. Well, Josh Allen went crazy for that one, but also in their Titans loss, Derrick Henry, he had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Tajay Spears had a hand in it. Like, I feel as though being successful on the ground is going to be really key in this game, and also not being afraid to let Lamar kind of go crazy with some read option plays. So yeah, starting the ground game early will be important. But also, what I realized from last year, I know it's different because they didn't have Ramsey last year, but Rashad Bateman, he had a great game against Miami last year, which I almost kind of completely forgot about in the span. Like, he had 108 yards in that game last year, and Andrews, he had 104. So we've been successful to enable to pass against this team. And also, I mean, Lamar also had 119 yards rushing to go with 318 yards through the air. So, I mean, it's not like we've struggled offensively against this Miami team, but it's just like you said, limiting those mistakes, especially the offensive line penalties, because we need to make sure we continue to limit those. We had a couple on Monday night. They didn't really harm us too badly, but we want to make sure we're not giving this team too many chances. But I feel as though with Lamar, I mean, he was hitting them from both fronts. So I feel as though if we just keep that game plan and Lamar just sticks to what he does and what he knows, we should be okay. And we should, like you said, I don't see why we can't drop 30 or 27. I don't know if we do, but I mean, I don't see why we can't. Like, this team has shown us already that they're able to drop huge amounts of points on great defensive teams, i.e. the Niners, i.e. everybody else who we played. So, so yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're going to be just fine. I want to see Bateman get more involved in this game again. Let's get him some more touches. If Zay's not able to go, but I feel as though it's all pretty be good to give Bateman more touches, especially if Zay is not 100%, and give Zay a little bit more of a lighter load, and give Bateman more of that confidence going into the playoffs, because we're gonna still need him either way. But yeah, I think, like you said, I think it's fine. Establish that run game early, and also establishes the play action pass, and we should be okay. I think we'll be just fine offensively. I'm hoping that, again, there are no mistakes, limit the interceptions, limit those fumbles, and I don't see why we can't walk out with a dub.
Starts with the O-line. If you can have a nice blocking game like you did against the Niners, and especially in the past with Ronnie Stanley containing Nick Bosa.
What a game from Stanley.
We need another one.
What a game from Stanley.
Don't let Bradley Chubb get going. Make them move to your own rhythm, and then you're going to be good to go. I don't see this. I really don't. I really don't. I'm confident in this Ravens team, especially in the offensive line. They've showed that they can block some high-quality pass rushers. Jacksonville's a little shaky at times, but last week was pretty impressive for the most part. Jacksonville got
super impressive.
So let's keep that trend going, and yeah, we should win this game. I mean, some people are predicting it could be a blowout. I wouldn't go that far.
No.
On all cylinders, I do think it's definitely possible. If we can control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, there's no reason to say we can't run away with this one. Because we should have run away with it last year, but that was very fluky. But it is what it is. I'm confident. I think this team knows what's ahead of them. I think they know that all they got to do is win this game, and then they can rest up with some of those injured players. Mark Andrews can continue to rest himself, maybe come back very soon. That'd be great. And yeah, I think they know what's happening, and they know. And I don't know if you watched the Ravens YouTube channel when they did the locker room speech after the Niners win. Kyle Van Noy delivered the message I've been saying the past 2 weeks. Keep your eyes in front of you and keep on chugging. I loved what he said. He said, take this win, enjoy it. They're hard to get. And you should appreciate what you've done. This is not easy. This is a great feat. But tomorrow, you guys, we need to be focused on this Dolphins game. Turn the page and keep pushing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And that drew a big ovation from the team. So I'm excited. I think they could do it. I think this is a great opportunity. Another opportunity for this team where it's just right in front of you, and all you got to do is go take it. And they've done a good job this year.
Absolutely.
So let's capitalize again. Let's do it one more time. Then you could get healthy, rest up for a Super Bowl run. So let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good. I'm going to say 27-20 Ravens.
27-20? Okay. I know it's going to be, we've seen both these offenses go absolutely nuts. I think I'm going to say 35-28 Ravens. I think it's going to be I think it could be potential for a lot of offense in this one. Hopefully not on the Dolphin side, but but yeah, I think it has potential to be one of those type of games. So I'm gonna say 35-28, but I say Ravens walk out with the dub at M&T Bank. So what do you guys think? Do the Ravens walk out with a win? Do we get the number 1 seed going into the playoffs? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions going into this playoffs time. Is your team going to make the playoffs? How's your team doing? Let us know. We want to know everyone's thoughts. If you want to talk about your team, if you need to vent of your frustrations about your team, just absolutely suck it. Don't be afraid to come on the show. Let us know your thoughts. We love to talk to you guys. Let us know your thoughts down below. Yes, Jason, I agree. We do also have to watch out for the Browns. We did mention earlier that the Browns are still hunting for that number 1 seed and could do it. But that's why that win is even more important than we know.
They get it is if we don't take care of business. If we take care of our own business, they can't get the 1 seed. That's my response to the Cleveland Browns.
Agreed. That's the only if we don't win, that's what gives the Browns hope.
Yeah.
And the Browns have too much hope right now with that win, with these past couple of wins they've been getting, and old man Joe Flacco leading it to them, which is insane. The narrative of the fact that we could potentially be playing Joe Flacco in a playoff game is absolutely insane. But
it's likely if we get the 1 seed. It's
it's likely, which is crazy. But I highly hope not, because the Browns have been kind of. I know, everybody's going to say, oh, yeah, Flacco's run is going to end in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But, man, they are riding high on that momentum through these past couple of wins. And a lot of people don't, as athletes, we probably won't understand it, but momentum can carry you through a playoff if need be. It fuels underdogs. I'm telling you guys this right now. So, anything could happen. So, we'll see about that. So, yeah, let us guys know your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share. Tell your mamas, your granddaddies, your grandmamas, your cousins, your uncles, your nephews, all about us. We're still on the road to 50 subscribers, so please subscribe, share with your friends. Gonz, any thoughts before we get up out of here?
I want to talk about one more thing real quick before you finish. Pittsburgh Steelers got the win against the Bengals, and they've got a big matchup with the Seahawks in Seattle on Sunday at 4:00 on Fox. The Steelers fans are riding high with the hopium right now after Mason Rudolph steps in and absolutely dominates the Bengals. Dom, is that a one-hit wonder, or is Mason Rudolph truly the guy, and are the Steelers all of a sudden a playoff team, as all their fans think they are? Because it's very annoying. They seem to just forgot that they lost to the Patriots, the Cardinals, and got blown out by the Colts, and now they're all excited about playoff chances after one game. Is that real hope? Is this something they should really hang on to, or is it just, like foggy, clouded by hopium nonsense that'll get obliterated by the Seahawks on Sunday? What do you think?
I feel as though they're running into a lot of hopium. And that's just me. Shout out to Mason Rudolph for what he did in that game. You can't knock a performance like that. He did have a great game, but I just don't think that he could do that twice in a row. That's just me. Steelers fans, don't chop my head off. I'm just saying I don't see it happening 2 games in a row. I mean, the Bengals defense
happened one
literally,
game.
And it's like,
bro, maybe, but one game.
Yeah, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to discredit the performance. He did an amazing job. I'm just saying, if he can do it in back-to-back games, I will be impressed. But until that, I can't really sit here and hang my hat on that. I mean, it is kind of funny to see the Bengals downfall after the Jake Browning Linsanity run that he's been on. It's funny because Bengals fans always made fun of us during our downfalls when Lamar was out. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, it's a little bit funny. But at that point, it's like, yeah, I just think that, he had his run in that game. I feel like the Seahawks might, get the edge in this one. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It would be funny if the Seahawks do knock them out, because we definitely handled the Seahawks in our game. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
So that's the difference in the world for me.
Yeah. It is in Seattle.
The game, I'm going to say Seahawks take that one 23-17.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Because also, you got to remember, too, because I know the Seahawks are still kind of fighting for a spot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're still fighting for a spot. They're currently 8-7. I know the Steelers are also currently fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So both of these teams have something to prove, and they want to win. And the Seahawks are 5-2 at home. So I mean, we'll see. The Steelers are 3-3 on the road. So we'll see if that performance from last week can carry into this weekend. But I don't know if it happens. I don't know if Mason Rudolph is throwing for darn near 300 yards and putting up 30 again. But again, I could be wrong. Who knows? I'm not trying to be a hater, but at the same time, it's like, I just don't see it happening twice in back-to-back weeks. Oh man, I can't believe we're talking about freaking backup quarterbacks making it to the playoff. I mean, it's not impossible. We've seen it happen before, but man, this league is crazy. So yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts down below. We will probably most likely see you guys sometime next week to talk post game or what happened in this game. Hopefully, we'll be bringing you good news with a victory. Who knows? But again, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Gonz, that's your final thought before we dip out?
Yep, that's all. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. DK Metcalf, who's been dealing with a back injury, is expected to play, along with Devin Witherspoon, according to Pete Carroll. So that bodes well for the Seahawks. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, Seahawks fans. Woo!
That's all I have.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you for joining us again for another Friday night pregame show. We will see you guys again to talk postgame Miami Ravens football. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We will see you again for our postgame show. We're signing off.
Go Ravens.